Let's start about the study of sampling and its methods in research methodology. What is sampling? Sampling is the process of selecting a small number of elements from a larger defined target group of elements such that the information gathered from the small group will allow judgments to be made about the larger groups. Basics of sampling theory. Sampling theory includes population for element, defined target population, sampling unit, sampling frame. Now, sampling error. What is sampling error? Sampling error is any type of bias that is attributable to mistakes in either drawing a sample or determining the sample size. Developing a sample plan. In order to develop a sampling plan, you have to define the population of interest, identify a sampling frame if possible, select a sampling method, determine sampling size, execute the sampling plan. Now, defining population of interest. Population of interest is entirely dependent on management problem, research problems, and research design. Some basis for defining populations may be covered when you follow geographic area, demographics, usage, lifestyles, awareness. Sampling frame, a list of population elements, people, companies, houses, cities, etc. from which units to be sampled can be selected. Difficult to get an accurate list. Sample frame error occurs when certain elements of the population are accidentally omitted or not included on the list. See Survey Sampling International for some good examples. www.surveysampling.com. Sampling methods may be based on two things. Number one, probability sampling method. Second, non-probability sampling. These may be included. There are further types of these two main types. If we see here, probability method, sampling method is furthermore divided into four types: simple random sampling, systematic random sampling, stratified random sampling, cluster sampling. Non-probability method, sampling method, is furthermore divided into four other types: convenience sampling, judgment sampling, quota sampling, snowball sampling. Let's study individually. First, the types of probability, then the types of non-probability sampling method. Let's see simple random sampling. Is a method of probability sampling in which every unit has an equal non-zero chance of being selected. However, systematic random sampling is a method of probability sampling in which the defined target population is ordered and the sample is selected according to the position using a skip interval. Steps in drawing systematic random sampling. You have to follow 5 steps. Number one, obtain a list of units that contain an acceptable frame of the target population. Second, determine the number of units in the list and the desired sample size. Third, compute the skip interval. Number 4, determine a random start point. Number 5, beginning at the start point, select the units by choosing each unit that corresponds to the skip interval. Stratified random sampling. Stratified random sampling is a method of probability sampling in which the population is divided into different subgroups and samples are selected from each. Steps in drawing a stratified random sampling. There are main 3 steps. Number 1, divide the target population into homogeneous subgroups or strata. Second, draw random samples from each stratum. Third, combine the samples from each stratum into a single sample of the target population. Number 4, cluster sampling. Cluster sampling is a sampling technique used when natural groupings are evident in a statistical population. It is often used in marketing research. It divides population into comparable groups, schools, cities, etc. Cluster sampling is to reduce the average cost per interview. The technique given more accurate results when most of the variation in the population is within the groups. Non-probability sampling method. Non-probability sampling methods based on the 4, as I say, types. Number 1, convenience sampling relies upon convenience and access. Convenience sampling in which samples drawn at the convenience of the interviewer. People tend to make the selection at familiar location and to choose respondents who are like themselves. Second, judgment sampling is also based on non-probability sampling method types. Judgment sampling relies upon belief that participant fit characteristics. Judgment samples that require a judgment or an educated guess on the part of the interviewer as to who should represent the population. Also, judges, informed individuals, may be asked to suggest who should be in the sample. Number 3, a type of the non-probability sampling is quota sampling. Quota sampling emphasizes representation of specific characteristics. These samples that set a specific number of certain types of individuals to be interviewed. Number 4, snowball sampling type is the type of non-probability sampling that relies upon respondent referrals of other with like characteristics. Snowball sampling is a technique for developing a research sample where existing study subjects recruit future subjects from among their acquaintances. Now, there are few factors to consider in sample design. These factors may be based on research objectives, resources, knowledge of population, degree of accuracy, time frame, research scope, statistical analysis needs.